has not heard about the famous story of a fox and the grapes he could not get? It is a tale that has been passed down through generations, captivating the hearts and minds of both young and old alike. This timeless fable tells the story of a clever fox who stumbles upon a sight that makes his mouth water. A beautiful vine adorned with clusters of plump, juicy grapes. Our cunning protagonist, the fox, finds himself in a lush vineyard on a warm summer's day. The sun's rays dance upon the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the ground below. As he saunters through the rows of vines, his keen eyes spot something truly tantalizing. A bunch of grapes hanging high above his head. The grapes are a deep purple hue, their skins glistening with dewdrops, promising a burst of sweetness with every bite. Overcome with desire, the fox's stomach rumbles as he imagines the delectable taste of those grapes. He knows he must have them, no matter the cost. With determination in his eyes, he begins his quest to reach the coveted fruit. At first, the fox attempts a simple jump, believing his agility will be enough to snatch the grapes from their perch. He crouches low, his muscles tensing as he prepares to spring upward. With a powerful leap, he stretches his paws towards the grapes, but alas, they remain just out of reach. Undeterred, he tries again and again, each jump more vigorous than the last, but to no avail. Realizing that jumping alone won't suffice, our clever fox decides to employ a different strategy. He scans the area, looking for anything that might give him the extra height he needs. Spotting a nearby rock, he pushes it with all his might, inching it closer to the vine. With great effort, he manages to position the rock beneath the grapes, hoping it will provide the boost he requires. Standing atop the rock, the fox feels a surge of confidence. Surely, this time he will succeed. He crouches once more, his tail swishing with anticipation, and leaps with all his might. For a brief moment, his paws graze the bottom of the grape cluster, but gravity quickly pulls him back down to earth. Frustration begins to creep in, but the fox is not one to give up easily. As the day wears on, the fox's attempts grow more elaborate and desperate. He tries to climb the vine itself, his claws scrabbling against the bark, but the smooth surface offers no purchase. He attempts to knock the grapes down by throwing pebbles at them, but his aim is off, and the grapes remain stubbornly attached to their stems. Hours pass, and the once energetic fox begins to tire. His fur is matted with sweat, his tongue lolling out as he pants heavily. The sun has begun its descent towards the horizon, casting long shadows across the vineyard. Still, the grapes hang tantalizingly above him, seemingly mocking his efforts. In a final, desperate attempt, the fox gathers all his remaining strength. He backs up as far as he can, his eyes fixed on the prize. With a running start, he launches himself towards the vine, his body stretched to its full length for a heart-stopping moment. It seems he might finally succeed, but alas, his paws close on empty air, and he tumbles to the ground in a heap. Exhausted and defeated, the fox picks himself up, dusting off his fur. He looks up at the grapes one last time, their allure now diminished in his eyes. It is at this moment that a change comes over our protagonist. Rather than admit defeat or acknowledge his own limitations, the fox's pride takes over. With a disdainful sniff, he turns his back on the grapes and declares loudly to no one in particular, "I am sure those grapes are sour anyway. They're probably not even ripe yet. I wouldn't want to eat them even if I could reach them." And with that, the fox saunters away from the vineyard, his tail held high as if he had made a grand decision rather than failed in his endeavor. He convinces himself that he no longer desires the grapes, that they were unworthy of his efforts all along. This simple yet profound story carries with it a powerful moral lesson. It teaches us that it is all too easy to despise and belittle the things we cannot have or achieve. When faced with failure or disappointment, we often seek to protect our ego by devaluing the very thing we once desired. The fox's behavior is a reflection of a common human tendency. How often have we, like the fox, dismissed opportunities or possessions as worthless simply because they were beyond our reach? We may criticize a job we didn't get, claiming it wasn't that great anyway, or downplay the achievements of others to make ourselves feel better about our own shortcomings. This fable encourages us to be honest with ourselves and to acknowledge our limitations without resorting to sour grapes. It reminds us that it's okay to admit when something is beyond our capabilities or current circumstances, rather than disparaging what we cannot have. We can choose to appreciate it from afar or use it as motivation to grow and improve ourselves. Moreover, the story of the fox and the grapes teaches us about the dangers of pride and the importance of humility. The fox's inability to admit his failure and learn from the experience prevents him from growing. Had he acknowledged that the grapes were simply out of his reach, he might have found a more creative solution or sought help from others. In our own lives, we can apply this lesson by embracing our failures and setbacks as opportunities for growth. Instead of making excuses or belittling our goals when we fall short, we can reflect on what went wrong and how we can do better next time. This approach fosters resilience and a growth mindset, allowing us to continually improve and eventually reach those metaphorical grapes that once seemed unattainable. The story also serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of immediate gratification and the value of persistence. The fox, in his impatience and frustration, gives up on his goal and convinces himself it wasn't worth pursuing. How often do we abandon our dreams or aspiration because they seem too difficult or time-consuming to achieve? In conclusion, the tale of the fox and the grapes remains relevant today, offering timeless wisdom in a simple package. It reminds us to be honest with ourselves, to persevere in the face of challenges, and to avoid the trap of sour grapes thinking. By embracing our limitations and learning from our failures, we can grow into better versions of ourselves, capable of reaching even the highest grapes life has to offer.